Can you use AI to write a film? No, that's it. No need to watch the rest of this video. But before you leave, I'm gonna tell you that you can use AI to help write a film. In this video, I'm gonna share the story of me doing just that, and I'm stunned by the results. Before I describe the process, let me show you. I'll give you step-by-step instructions about how you can do the same thing later. Enjoy the film.
We see a small, run-down town where the main character, Jim, lives. He's a man in his mid-30s, with a rough exterior and a troubled past. He's a man who's lost everything: his family, his home, and his reputation. All he wants is redemption.
I've made mistakes, big mistakes, but I can't change the past. All I can do is try to make amends.
We see Jim struggling to make ends meet. He's living in a small, cramped apartment with barely enough money to put food on the table. Suddenly, there's a knock on the door. It's the sheriff. He informs Jim that his estranged brother has died, leaving behind a young son, Jason, that Jim never knew existed. Jim is shocked and overwhelmed by the news, but he knows that he has to step up and take responsibility for his nephew.
I never knew I had a nephew, but now that I do, I can't let him down like I did my brother.
Jim packs his bags and sets off on a journey to find his nephew and make amends. As Jim travels, he meets a wise old man who offers to be his guide on this quest. At first, Jim is reluctant to accept the old man's help, but as he faces obstacles and challenges along the way, he realizes that he needs the guidance and support.
I didn't think I needed anyone's help, but I was wrong. This old man is my guide, my mentor, and my friend.
As they reach their destination, Jim faces the final challenge: his nephew's guardian, who is unwilling to give up the boy. Jim must confront his past and overcome his demons to win his nephew's freedom. In the heat of the battle, Jim's guide is killed, leaving Jim alone and defeated. He's at the threshold of no return, with no one to turn to. With nothing left to lose, Jim summons all of his strength and fights with everything he's got. He emerges victorious, but at a great cost. We see Jim, now a changed man, sitting on a hilltop with his nephew, Jason, by his side. They're watching the sunset, and Jim's face is filled with peace and contentment. Jim has found his redemption, but he's also found a greater purpose: to be a loving and responsible uncle to Jason. He's become a different and better person, and he's ready to start a new chapter in his life.
How was it? It was a dull and short story because I gave no information at all to the AI. But I could have asked it to write a 120-page screenplay with more intense dialogues and complex plots. It all depends on how much data you provide. The visuals aren't always consistent, but still, it's impressive and fascinating. I'm gonna break the workflow down now and show you how I put this experiment together. ChatGPT generated the storyline and the screenplay. All I had to do was give it a small input, in this case, the beats and the structure I wanted my story to have. Let me show you what I did. I visited the website chat.openai.com and typed this instruction: write me a screenplay using the following beats. After less than a minute, I had the entire screenplay. Later, I asked the AI to give me 20-frame ideas for storyboarding this film, and again, I was shocked. For generating the frames, I used Midjourney. Visit midjourney.com and click on Join the Beta. Complete the registration process and download the Discord app. Before you can generate anything, you must create a server. Click on the plus icon, then on Create My Own, and select for me and my friends. Give your server a name and click Create. You should now see an icon with the server you just created. Click on that and click on Personalize your server with an icon. You will see this screen with a series of options. Click on App Directory and find the Midjourney bot. Click on View App and then on Add to Server. Confirm by clicking Continue and grant all authorizations. You may be asked to prove that you're human. Do that and then click Escape. That's it. Nothing else to do. Now you can create your own AI-generated art. Click on the message bar and type a dash. You will be prompted with a few options. Select Imagine Prompt. Now copy and paste one of the storyboard ideas created by ChatGPT for your film. This AI is sick. You can do so much with it. As you noticed, my character was consistent almost every time. This was possible because I told the AI to use my picture. To do that, you must have the URL of the picture you want to use. For instance, go to Google Images and search for anything. I will search for creepy male with long hair. I'm going to pick this man and click on it. Then right-click on the image and on Copy Image Address. Now you can use this link to refer to your character. For instance, if you want the AI to draw this guy running in Times Square, you would write something like this. Imagine prompt URL running in Times Square, New York. Notice that I put a parameter at the end of the sentence. This means aspect ratio. You can't do 16:9 for some reason, and if you don't define the aspect ratio, it will be 1:1 by default. However, can you make a storyboard with this tool? Absolutely, but there are some limitations. The AI doesn't work at its best if you define more than one specific character in the scene. You can ask the AI to imagine anything with any amount of characters if there are no specifications about the characters themselves, or at least a few specifications. For instance, you can query the AI to produce a drawing of 4 old guys with beards shooting at a giant tent in a futuristic desert. Sometimes I tried to ask it to draw 2 characters together by defining 2 URLs as parameters. And this is what you want for a storyboard, unless there is only one character in your film. The AI messes up all these requests. Let me show you. Because there are no limits to imagination, it'd be fun to watch Brad Pitt playing a football game with David Bowie. I got these 2 pictures from Google Images and copied the addresses of the images. Then I asked the AI to imagine these 2 gentlemen playing football, and this is what it got. There are workarounds, though. You could ask the AI to imagine one character at one time, doing anything on a white background. The AI doesn't work with a transparent background yet. You can then work with these 2 images and join them in any other scene. It's hard, I know, and takes some time. But if you need to, you can get the job done. In conclusion, would I ask the AI to write a film and storyboard it? No, I wouldn't. Just yet. I wouldn't trust ChatGPT to write a compelling story with complex structures, plot twists, and backstories, but I would definitely query the AI when I'm short of ideas, or maybe I need some fresh input on small tasks. I asked ChatGPT to write 20 titles for this YouTube video, some of which are genuinely good. As for the Discord app, there are too many limitations that hopefully will be fixed with future upgrades. When I make storyboards, I need my drawing to represent each shot with very specific parameters. Not only characters, but also camera movements, shot types, lighting sources, etc. But you can definitely put this tool in your arsenal to gather ideas or generate some scenes for pitching your films and ideas. Soon, YouTube will be full of videos written, storyboarded, acted by the AI. The future is scary, but also exciting. And what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like this video if you had fun watching it, and subscribe to this channel not to miss any future video. See you soon.